Good morning. I have started this vlog so many times because Zeus keeps meowing, Roxy is drinking water, rubbing her back against the stool, and then my battery, this is my third battery because they all die. Maybe I'm talking too much, maybe it's a hint. Today we're making a roast dinner as kind of practice for Christmas. So I have got a new recipe on my website, which is a vegan stuffed turkey roast using seitan. It's really simple. There are lots of recipes out there with seitan on making vegan meat alternatives that are very complicated. And to be honest with you, I always look at those recipes and think, I just can't be bothered to do that. I'm the sort of person, you probably obviously know this from following my recipes, I like to make things easy and attainable. I'm really just not into doing things that are overcomplicated. I know that obviously sometimes it's quite fun because it makes for an even more exceptional result at the end, but I find at Christmas time I'm already quite flustered, especially if you're hosting with social events, with getting presents, and the lead up to Christmas. It's just quite a lot, and I just don't know that I'm interested in like cooking this whole like big seitan thing that's going to take hours and hours and hours and lots of planning. This recipe is much simpler. It actually shows how easy seitan can be because it's literally just dough. You're just using the gluten part of the flour. It's called Vital Wheat gluten. I buy it on Amazon. It's really easy to make. In fact, do I buy it on Amazon or do we buy it and buy Whole Foods online? I'll link where we buy it. We get a big bag of it and it lasts a really long time. And you're just using the gluten part of flour basically to make a very dense dough that has an imitation of meat. And yes, you can do the more complicated way of it. I've seen lots of recipes and I have tried them, but it can be very simple of just making the dough and baking it in the oven. And I'm going to be making a stuffing to go in the middle as well. It's really delicious, very simple, easy to do for Christmas. To practice the whole shebang of making a roast dinner because I am not immune to feeling flustered on Christmas Day when I'm hosting. We don't make roast dinners a lot because it's just two of us, and I don't think to invite family around for roast because we're vegan. I'm like, hey, come over for a vegan roast. I don't know whether they'd be like into that. So I do sometimes find on Christmas Day, I'm like, wait, how long does this take? When do we need to put this in? And probably because my mind is fogged up with the Christmas Day, I don't think straight. So I just kind of want to do it today in a more calm way, but I'm going to start with the vegan stuffed turkey roast and make the stuffing because it's like a recipe that you can use separately. You can make enough basically for the stuffing balls and use half of it to go inside the turkey roast. And then I'm going to do some roast potatoes, and then we're just going to have really simple just carrots and broccoli because it's just me and Alex. I'm not going to do like Brussels sprouts and parsnips and all of that sort of stuff today, and enjoy a nice Christmassy festive meal. I will link below all of my festive recipes. I have so many. I've got vegan gravy, a nut roast, parsnip recipe, like parmesan parsnips, maple syrup, cinnamon carrots. I've got a Brussels sprout recipe with, I think it's with walnuts and cranberries. I've just got so many Christmas recipes, so I'll link them all below. If you're having a vegetarian or vegan Christmas, then they're all there. Or even if you're not, there's lots of the vegetarian or vegetable sides, sorry, that you can follow along. So I've got all my ingredients laid out. This is the place that I get the Vital Wheat gluten flour from Whole Food Earth. So it comes in a massive bag, so I can just use it as and when. And then nutritional yeast. And then it's just lots of seasoning. So things like onion powder, smoked paprika, soy sauce, liquid smoke, and lots of herbs. I actually don't think I've got sage today, which is kind of annoying because that's part of the stuffing, but any herbs will do. And then stuffing is really simple. It's like celery, carrot, onion, bread, and then lots of herbs again. So I'm actually going to start by prepping the stuffing and making that first, and then we can make our dough for the my brain for the turkey nut roast. No, not nut roast, turkey stuffed roast. Wow, my eyes. Oh my goodness. That's a spicy onion. I do have sage. I thought I didn't. But I do. Kind of important for sage and onion stuffing, hey? Oh, that smells so good. So for the stuffing, I'm just starting by frying up onion. And now I've added in the chopped carrot and celery and cook this until it's all nice and softened and smells delish. Now we can add our veg into a bowl. Along with sage, some dried thyme, dried oregano, salt and pepper, and then some sunflower oil. Now we can add our breadcrumbs. And this is a mix actually of sourdough from Riverford and Alex's homemade loaf. So it's quite lovely breadcrumbs really. And then stir everything together until combined. Could have done with a bigger bowl. I always do this. I have a really bad time at understanding the right size of things. You can get stuck in and use your hands, makes it easier. And you can add more oil if it needs it. It will totally depend on the kind of bread you're using. So if you're using a more like shop bought bread, it'll probably come together quite easily because that tends to be quite, I guess, dense. Like a cheap, you know, like white loaf. If you're using very fresh bread like this, I might need to put a bit more oil in, but you can also just use your hands to sort of bring it all together and it should come together in one big lump. And once it's done that, you can separate it out into balls, or you can actually bake it in just one big tray and then cut it up afterwards, depending on how you like stuffing. See, it's starting to come together. So if you set that aside for a minute, it should sort of bind a bit better. If it's a bit more crumbly, which mine is, obviously you're not using something like egg. So I'm just gonna let that sit and it should absorb all the oil, and now I can get on to making my turkey roast. So we've got our vital wheat gluten in a large bowl, and I'm just adding nutritional yeast with sage, chicken seasoning, which is accidentally vegan, fun fact, onion powder, black pepper, and smoked paprika. Now this is all our dry ingredients, so we can just mix this together. Now we can add the wet ingredients. Next add miso paste, soy sauce, liquid smoke or barbecue sauce, and then vegetable stock. And stir everything together to form a dough. That was me just adding some smoked paprika because I forgot. And it should look something like this. Knead the dough until it all comes together for about 30 seconds. Roll your dough out onto cling film. Until about 1 inch thick. Then place a log shape of your stuffing into the middle of your seitan. Wrap the dough up and over, folding everything to seal. You're in the sun there, honey. That's better. And then using the cling film, you can roll it over to the other side. Using the cling film to shape it. And then transfer to a baking tray Yeah, I know, you're gonna go on a nice little pram walk. That'd be fun, wouldn't it? You have a nice little nappy naps. So this is what it should look like, and then you can cover it with foil and then roast it in the oven for 50 minutes. Make our glaze. In the meantime, it's literally just maple syrup, soy sauce and sunflower oil. And then in the last 10 minutes, we can take the foil off and glaze the top so it's nice and golden brown. Also, to be honest, that was a bit of a brain fart using baking paper. Just put foil down and wrap the foil over the top. No idea why I did it that way. That's some funny noises you're making. Slightly terrifying. You sound like a dinosaur. So this is the other half I've rolled into balls. So it should make around 19 stuffing balls. So 15 to 20 depending on the size you want them. If you're just making the stuffing, or if you're using it inside the turkey roast and you get 9 of them, you could make 10 or 12 if you make them a little bit smaller. Or like I said, you can just bake it in a baking tray and then you can cut it up afterwards, which I know lots of people do with stuffing. But these I'm going to put in the oven so we can have them with our roast dinner. So this glaze is very simple. It's just some soy sauce, maple syrup and oil. Here they are, all nicely cooked. Now, please ignore the photograph on the website because I don't know what was going on that day, whether my brain was dead, but I obviously didn't cook them long enough. We took the final photo and then my photographer sent the photos and I was like, why did they look so pale? And I realised that I don't think I cooked them for long enough, and I was just so confused about how that happened and how I didn't realise at the time. I think I was rushing. They should look like this. They should look brown. I don't know what happened, but I can't reshoot them now because it's done, so it's good enough. But anyway, they should look nice and toasted and brown, and these should be absolutely delicious. So I'm excited to have these later on. I'll just reheat them in the Aga. And we have just a couple minutes left for the seitan. Let's have a peek, shall we? Oh, it's gonna steam up. Oh, yeah, that's looking nice and toasty and roasty. Remove from the oven and add a glaze. So let's have a peek, shall we? Ooh. Looking gorge. This should add that really nice, just sort of glossy skin. But look how good that looks. Like, it looks so meaty. Really is very easy to do these sorts of things at home. Also, maybe you're someone who's not vegan or vegetarian, but you're hosting Christmas this year and you have a vegan or vegetarian coming, or like maybe a couple who are both vegetarian. This could be quite a special thing to do for them. If you have children who have recently gone vegetarian or vegan, I know lots of you who follow me have older children. Maybe they are non-meat eaters, and this Christmas you're like, what do I make them? Nut roast? Maybe I'm not so interested in doing that, that's a bit boring. This is kind of fun. I feel like they would be really appreciative. It would be very special to make something like this, because if someone did this for me and I went around to their house for Christmas, like if my mum did this, I'd be like, that's so nice, because it feels special for Christmas rather than something from the supermarket, which we've done actually. Every year we get that This Isn't. I think Alex even bought it just because maybe we'll have it on Boxing Day in case this runs out. They do them, the sort of roasts in the supermarket, but it's just a bit special, isn't it, to do like a big one for Christmas Day. Just look at that. In fact, speaking of photographs, this actually looks better than the one on the website because I put a bit too much paprika in that day. I think, again, I was chatting away, distracted, and put like a really like heaped teaspoon of smoked paprika in, whereas this one I put the right amount, and therefore it looks a lovely turkey roast colour rather than a bit red. Like, do you see the lovely golden colour? Lovely. Look at that, nice little stuffing centre. I fear I've got makeup all over my chin from taste testing this, but ignore that for a second. Let's take a bite. It tastes amazing, especially with gravy. I love the stuffing in the middle. Don't skip that. Now, I've been vegan for coming up to 12 years. 12 years this Christmas. But this tastes meaty to me. I fear that I don't remember what meat tastes like because I've accidentally eaten cheese and chocolate and tuna because I once picked up a falafel wrap from Pret and it was a tuna wrap. But I have not had meat pass my lips in 12 years. So it has that kind of texture, the sort of chunky texture that meat has a sort of smoky, salty flavour, sort of chickeny flavour. Obviously it's not meat, but it does remind me of meat alternatives that I buy from the shop. Maybe just taste a little bit more simple because it's made from fewer ingredients. But I love it and I'm excited to have it later with some roast potatoes. But it's so good with gravy. But like, how nice is that as like a centerpiece if you're having a vegan roast dinner on a nice little platter. You put some nice veg around it to make it look pretty. Some herbs on top. Bob's your uncle. It's not very many potatoes.
Feels unnatural to be using root potatoes before they've all sprouted.
Also feels unnatural to be going to the effort to make roast potatoes and there only be this many. Would you get a Springer Spaniel next, or do you think that you'd only ever have Cocker Spaniels?
So at the start there was a woman with a pram and a bassinet, and I overtook them because I was trying to go quite quick. And then, I say 2/3 of the way back, I saw that woman and her daughter still walking along the path. Look, we're walking past people who've already walked past us and are coming back. Thing for something in the annex, and then I managed to charge it, and that was a sweet relief. But I could have crashed that car and they would never know. Had nothing, no ability to like trace, no battery. So I just had to kind of sit. I was just like, I can't believe this is happening.
Oh, I can. Sounds just like something you would do.
There's no Nintendo Switch 2. Compared to a Game Boy, the Switch is obviously what do you do, kids? Well, you got a PlayStation. Which I was myself in a few years' time, video games and
So we're doing a really nice simple roast dinner just because it's two of us. So we've got some maple roast carrots. Well, they're not roasted yet. I do have a recipe for this, like I said, and it also, the recipe has like a pistachio butter that goes with it. I'm not doing that today because again, it's not Christmas Day. And we're having broccoli because it's what we've got, but usually I would have Brussels sprouts. And then we've got a nice little 2-person portion of potatoes, just getting ready to parboil. And then I will, once they're boiling, I'll heat up some oil in the oven and then we can coat them in the oil and get them all nice and crispy. Willow! Oh, hello! Who remembers Willow? Hey! Hey! Good girl. Yes, you're such a good girl. Mummy and Daddy are going out to see Jules Holland. Yes, you've had a nice, neat little haircut, haven't you? Willow. Just not even interested. She's interested in all the toys on the floor. That's what she's interested in.
Trying to get as close as possible to me and the baby on the floor.
Yes, because this is when dogs are... When there are people on the floor, that's all dogs want to do. Alex, nobody needs to see this. No! Goodness me. And let's find Elmo. Oh, Elmo, you having a nice snooze. So Elmo is a little bit older and you have fit in a very tiny dog bed. That dog bed's way too small for you, Elmo. It's way too small for you. But don't you look cute next to the Christmas tree? Oh no, steaming up the camera. So the potatoes have parboiled for 10 minutes and then leave them... Ellen's giving instructions. Leave them to steam in your colander and you can fluff them up And this is what makes them go really nice and fluffy. If you put them straight in the oven, there's still lots of water on them. So give them a little toss around, and then they get all those kind of fluffy edges to them. You should be able to see the difference, how on the edges it's kind of like rough. And then with that, it will get the oil all crispy, so it creates that lovely skin. So I'm gonna leave these to steam whilst I put Ella in to sleep. And then, oh, steaming on the camera. And then we can put them in the oven. So I've just added some oil and a little bit of vegan butter into this large baking tray. I think it might be a bit too big actually now in hindsight, but this can go to preheat in the oven. Now a trick for extra crispy potatoes is to add a little bit of semolina onto them. So I'm just gonna do that in the colander. Now obviously be very careful because this is hot, so stand away as you do this and tip the potatoes in gently. And now I can season them generously. And then we can coat in the oil. In hindsight, this is a way too big baking tray. I did it automatically because this is the baking tray I always use if I make roast potatoes because it's nice and big. This will be the one I use on Christmas Day because you want, out of everything, you want a lot of potatoes because it's the thing that everybody likes. Not everyone likes a Brussels sprout in my family. And we're going to add a few herbs in as well and some garlic cloves. So this just helps to infuse them with some lovely flavour. So I'll do 3 garlic cloves. And then a few sprigs of rosemary. You can remove these at the end, and a little bit of thyme as well. And just infuse it with some nice flavour, especially if it gets into the oil. Give it a final little baste. And then these can go in the oven. Now these can roast for 35 to 40 minutes. So that's a little bit longer than the carrots, and then the broccoli doesn't take much time at all. So I'll put the carrots in a minute, maybe in like 5-10 minutes, and then the broccoli in, they'll only take like 10 minutes, the broccoli. And I'll probably chuck the vegan turkey roast and stuffing in just at the end, just to heat through and make some gravy up. Okay, so everything is in the oven. Carrots, broccoli, potatoes. Potatoes are looking great. So in a few minutes I actually will put the vegan roast and the stuffing in the oven as well. I'll put that in the Aga. Okay, a little bit of a reality check. Alex is coming downstairs with Eloin because she's not sleeping. Full start. I fed her, got her to sleep within 15 minutes. She was a dream. She made her cute little noises, went to sleep, made the mistake of having that false sense of security and ran downstairs to swap with Alex so I could cook. And in that time, between swapping, she spat her dummy out and woke up. So when Alex went back upstairs, she was wide awake and she won't go back to sleep. So he's coming back down with her and we're gonna have dinner.
Some clothes on.
Yeah, did I say that? I'm in my bra because I'm so hot. December is not Decembering. It's supposed to be cold and it's 12 degrees and this kitchen has the Aga on and it's so hot. And I don't know what I think it's the 4-month sleep regression that this keeps happening. She's just very...
I don't remember the last time she was properly asleep and then just woke up and...
Yeah, I think it's the, they're learning adult sleep basically. Before now, they didn't have those kind of lighter into deeper sleep cycles. And this is the age they develop that. So that's why they're more fussy and difficult to get to go to sleep.
Ow.
Also growth spurts. It's all part of it. Right, so we have roasted garlicky broccoli. We have our maple cinnamon carrots. Our perfect roast potatoes, look at these. Ultra crispy roast potatoes. And then I will dish these up first and then get the rest out the oven. Oh my gosh, where are the dogs gonna go? Okay.
I was going to take their stinky Russian beds upstairs. The Spaniels just like that. Is that what it is? Yeah, I'll take their beds up. It's on your tummy. There we go. You have to lift your arm higher. And whoa.
Here it is, all dished up. I actually think it makes a massive difference the plate you put it on, because roast can either otherwise become very brown. But this looks so yummy, I can't wait to eat it and dig in. The candles entirely. We've got like a teeny tiny window where the dogs and the baby don't kick off. Literally, we have a baby staring at us and 2 dogs. How impressed are you? This looks great. Now this is actually making me think maybe I do need to do this more often, because it is pretty delicious.
We haven't done it really this year.
I need some more gravy is what I do.
These boiled potatoes are delicious.
What delicious? To what cousin do I? To what cousin do I owe the pleasure? Is that what he says? These exemplary potatoes.
I thought he said, what exemplary?
What exemplary potatoes?
Boiled roast potatoes?
Yeah, boiled potatoes.
What a superbly featured room, and what excellent boiled potatoes. Many years since I've had such an exemplary vegetable. To which of my fair cousins should I compliment the excellence of the cooking?
Should know that quote better.
Me too. Because I've seen that film probably about 100 times. So what's your review of the turkey roast?
Oh, that's really nice. It's quite late in the day and this is excellent.
Yep. Excellent.
Exemplary.
Oh,
I haven't had the stuffing.
Where's your drink?
My drink?
I had to get myself dolled up again because I needed to film an end clip for my Instagram video. So I had to put my jumper and my lipstick back on.
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh, for goodness sake. Cheers. You haven't been in Vlogmas this much this year.
No, it's been great.
I feel like you haven't really been in it. I'm just thinking because we haven't experienced all the sarcasm.
You're gonna get an extra healthy dose.
Right, we're going to enjoy this roast dinner and hopefully try and put baby back down to bed. She's dazing off. I can see that she's tired now.
No,
she's like staring at us, like looking like.
Yeah, it's time to sleep, isn't it?
It is.
Ah, this is great.
All the recipes are linked below, like I said, and hopefully this was a bit of fun.
If I had to think of how long to cook carrots, they're really nice.
Because they've got maple syrup on them and cinnamon.
Cinnamon's good.
They taste festive.
Yeah, it looks like a fancy carrot now.
Well, they are. They're organic. I could have an entire plate of just roast potatoes.
Are there more?